Hey guys, welcome back to another installment of Professor Charles S. And I'm sorry guys, I apologize. I didn't do any videos yesterday due to being my birthday. So today we're gonna talk about this movie. S-Man, the Dark Phoenix. You know what? I really had to think about seeing this movie. I'm not gonna even front with you guys because I've been hearing so much backlash at the movie, like backlash, like you know how you hit somebody, whoosh, what the? I was just saying to myself, like, I hope this movie is not as bad as how the critics are making it seem, how other people are making it seem. Sometimes you have to go see a movie for yourself because what everybody else think is not how you're gonna feel about the movie. I know that was how it was for Captain Marvel. My friends, some of them enjoyed it, and I'm just like, ugh, it was okay. It wasn't my thing. Okay, so let's talk about this movie. S-Man Dark Phoenix. I'm gonna talk about the pros and I'm gonna talk about the cons of this freaking movie. The pros of this movie. I love what they did with Magneto. Seriously, in this movie, I felt like we saw like tranquil Magneto living among the other mutants that were like hippie mutants, but then you saw like, oh, hold up, they ain't hippies, they hardcore too, you know what I'm saying? And that was really interesting because we always see Magneto as the his character's based off freaking Malcolm X. I'm always gonna think when I see Magneto, Malcolm X. Personally, when I seen this, I was like, wow, like Magneto seems to be at peace. He's like, look, he ain't trying to deal with humans no more. And we saw that. And that was really interesting, the dynamics with Magneto. Michael Fassbender did a great job playing Magneto. I cannot front about this. Like, the man nailed younger Magneto down to a freaking T. And we saw the issues that Magneto had. Magneto wanted to help Jean, but he like, oh no, I'm not helping you. You can't control your powers. You scaring off my peoples. That's mutants too. You feel me? And when he found out that Mystique was dead, also known as Raven, Magneto lost it. He was like, he was pissed. I was like, okay, I can see Magneto being pissed about this. Like, you see that Magneto really cared about Mystique. And that was really interesting when he found out when Hank went and told him, he like, look, she killed Mystique. He was like pissed. He was like, oh, okay. You can see that Magneto, that brought out his anger towards Jean Grey. I love that they showed that dynamic or aspect of it. What else really worked with this freaking film? Number 2. Charles Xavier being the problem. I see that they focused on that a little bit more because we see that Charles had a dark secret, like, hidden in the closet or trapped in the closet, pretty much like some R. Kelly junk. He didn't tell Jean that her father was still alive. And we see that became a problem because Charles, it seemed like Charles was like that overprotective father. He's like, he didn't want to tell her. She eventually found out her father was still alive. And that was very interesting because Charles, him being the character he is, he had like I said, he has the Martin Luther King complex because, like I said, that's what the character's based off of. We see him being overprotective with Jean. And it was really interesting because we saw that dynamic and it was like, oh my God, like, you haven't told her father's still alive? Bro, you tripping, man. And Jean found out and Jean was angry about that. She was furious with him. And I can understand that because she felt like she was abandoned by her father. Like, her father literally told her, like, he told him, like, look, I don't want to be bothered with her. It's going to bring back flashbacks pretty much that my daughter killed my wife in this, in this accident and stuff. That was really interesting. Also, it showed us a vulnerable Charles Xavier, not only up to his responsibilities, losing S-Man and not taking accountability for himself. That was something that I really liked about that character dynamics that they used with him in this movie. I said, oh, okay, all right, I see what's going on. The other thing, number 3, what really worked with this film, I gotta say, also the other S-Men, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it wasn't the best choice of S-Man. I mean, I thought for sure we were gonna see another funny moment with Quicksilver. I'm just like, no. I was just being funny, guys. But it was like, okay, Quicksilver had his moment. I would have loved to see Jean Grey like actually have more of a role, like her and Storm like duking it out a little bit more. That was something that I really loved to see with the film. And it didn't get there. I was like, dang man, that'd have been great if they would have been fighting for like a good hour or something like that. And I guess, it was all right, here we go. I like what they did with Nightcrawler in this movie too. Like Nightcrawler, because we all know Nightcrawler's like this religious mutant. Excuse me. And I love what they did with him in this movie. To me, I like what they did with Nightcrawler in this movie more in the other X-Men trilogy. It was like, to me, Nightcrawler like kind of put his religion aside a little bit and was hurting and killing people. I'm like, oh, Nightcrawler? Not my Nightcrawler. But I like what they did with Nightcrawler. And that was something that was really interesting. For a minute, I was like, dang, Nightcrawler's tail, that pointed, like, it looked like a freaking spear. I was like, oh, okay, out here just tearing people's neck off and everything. And like I said, that was very interesting. I also like what they did with Mystique. Mystique, even though she freaking died, she died in this movie, but it wasn't because her and Jean did that. It was more because Jean didn't know how to control her powers. And that was really interesting. Now, number 4. The best thing about this film is that Jean had her own villain. Even though the X-Men was her villain, I was like, dang, like Jean got her own villain. And it was pretty much the people from this empire. Gosh, I can't think. Is it Shi'ar Empire? I forgot, because I haven't seen X-Men, the 90s anime series, in a long time. And that was really interesting because these people were just like, look, we gonna keep coming until you come back. And I thought that was really interesting that they did that. Now, let's talk about the freaking flaws of this freaking movie. So, number 1, I felt that this X-Men movie could have been way longer. Seriously, I mean, it's the last one of this, the other newer X-Men movies. I'm not talking about the first 3. I'm talking about the newer movies. And I felt this could have been like a 2-hour movie. I think that's what it should have been. You know what I'm saying? Like the DarkPhoenix in the X-Men anime series, I think it's about like 4 episodes. And I felt that this could have been like a 2-hour movie. I think the problem with it was that at the time, Disney bought Fox. And I guess maybe they're like, no, we don't want to make it 2-hour. And then they had a lot of reshoots for this movie. So that could have been it too. And that was really, like I said, I felt this could have been a 2-hour long movie. Not something where it's like, okay, this is it. You know what I'm saying? The next thing about this film that I felt that was a little flawed, we never really saw the issues that Jean and Cyclops had in this freaking movie. I think that was something that I think they could have added a little bit more layers to the onion to show like how Cyclops really felt and Jean, and a little bit more about their relationship. Like, we all know that they dated. So it was like, where's the layers to this? You know what I'm saying? It's like having a sandwich, right? You make a sandwich, you gonna want certain stuff on your sandwich. Am I correct? And I felt like it didn't build up. It was like, okay, to me, they did a great job with Charles and Jean's character dynamic, why she was angry at him, furious at him, because she felt abandoned by her own freaking father. And like I said, that was something that did not work for this film. I'm like, okay, we know that he cares about Jean. We get that. The other thing that did not really work for this film, where the heck was Wolverine? Like, come on, man. You can't have an X-Men movie without Wolverine. And originally, fun fact, Wolverine was actually a part of DarkPhoenix. They took that part of the movie out. I don't know what the deuces Fox or Disney was doing, but I'm like, y'all should have kept Hugh Jackman's part in the freaking movie. I mean, I don't care if it was just like a small amount of minutes or hours. Could have kept that in there to make it a little bit more better. And I'm not super angry about it, but it was like, it just felt weird, like watching X-Men and you're not seeing Wolverine. It's just like strange. That's like a Batman movie, right? And there's no Gotham. it ain't gonna add up. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's Justice League. You know what I'm saying? That was something that really did not work with this film. The other thing I felt that did not work with this film, is learning like the aftermath of her father, like what led him to not want Jean to be that way. Like we saw it, but it was like what? Like, did he go into depression? Did he become an alcoholic? I felt like that was something that was a little bit missing. But I gotta say, like I said, there were some flaws with it. And I'm trying to figure out what the other flaw was with this freaking film. The other flaw, I felt like we could have learned a little bit more about maybe Charles's complex. Like, I did like the interaction between Charles and Hank, where they, where Hank was like, it's your fault, you know what I'm saying? Mystique was gonna leave anyway. But I'd say this X-Men film was impressive. I like what they did with it. We saw aftermath, like what happened after Jean pretty much became this freaking Phoenix. And that was really interesting on that behalf. We see Hank becoming the new professor. We also see Magneto and Xavier like literally playing chess together like old buddies. We see that the school is named after Jean Grey. And we also see in this movie, the other best thing about this movie, I forgot to mention, we saw that the other mutants that were at the academy that were younger mutants were scared of Jean. You know what I'm saying? And that's the realism of it. They're like, okay, holy crap, she can't control her powers. She might kill us. And that's understandable because they're there to learn how to use those powers. What happened if you come across a mutant that doesn't know how to use their powers? That's a problem. Seriously. Now, this X-Men movie, when I went in, I'm going to tell you this right off the back. I did not compare it to the other X-Men movie, Last Stand. And, because it's his own thing, and this one's his own thing. But I got to say, they should have kept this to 3 movies. I felt like Apocalypse should have been the final movie. But, like I said, this movie has some moments where it was better than Apocalypse. Not saying that Apocalypse was the worst X-Men movie. It wasn't. Will I be willing to get this on DVD? Yeah, I think I would. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 5. You know what I'm saying? Because I did enjoy this movie. There were certain things that I wish they would have dwelled on a little bit more, but this is my video for today, guys. It's your boy, Professor Charles S. Do not forget to like or comment or subscribe. Like I said, it's Sunday after all. This is my first video for today. Ciao.